2024 Porsche Cayenne. Inclining on its decades-long bequest of sports car fabricating, Porsche imbues each of its vehicles, including SUVs just like the 2024 Cayenne, with a fun-to-drive nature that's difficult for rivals to match. Although the Cayenne may be a midsize SUV, it feels light on its feet in corners, much obliged to an expertly tuned chassis. It's too fast, particularly with one of its high-output powertrains that include an accessible plug-in crossbreed and a twin-turbo V8. Porsche's biggest SUV is additionally extravagant, with a refined ride, a calm cabin, and bounty of tech and comfort highlights. Whereas it may not outflank a 911 Turbo, the Cayenne offers bounty of physicality to fulfill its driver, whereas giving sufficient space for individuals and cargo. The Cayenne gets a styling revive this year, though a gentle one. Changes to the outside require a sharp eye, but interior, the Cayenne gets a modern dashboard plan with more computerized genuine bequest, a unused directing wheel on advance from the 911 sports car, and an unused toggle-type move lever mounted on the dashboard. Porsche has increased the stake on its execution over the board, as well. The base demonstrate gets 13 more horsepower than some time recently, whereas the e-hybrid picks up 9 drive. The S trim gets the greatest boost, because it drops its twin-turbo 2.9-liter V6 for a 468 HP twin-turbo 4.0-liter V8. We're exceptionally affectionate of the entry-level Cayenne, which comes standard with a 12.3-inch touchscreen, a 10-speaker stereo, and a Wi-Fi hotspot, among other well-known equipment, and our favored arrangement would grow upon that with astute choices. We'd include the premium bundle that incorporates surrounding and sides lighting, versatile journey control, a more capable Bose surround sound framework, warmed front and raised seats, and all-encompassing sunroof. We'd too optimize its on-road execution and off-road capabilities with the Wear Chrono bundle, extended drive modes and dispatch control, the off-road bundle, additional underbody security and extra shows, and the adaptive air suspension. Porsche will let you spec the Cayenne in a few ways, beginning with a turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 that creates 348 drive. The plug-in crossbreed, called the e-hybrid, weds an electric engine in a turbocharged V6 for a combined 463 drive. The Cayenne S gloats a 468 HP twin-turbo V8 with a great-sounding deplete note and breathtaking speeding up. There's moreover an SE hybrid, which employments a turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 and an electric engine for 512 drive and 553 pound-feet of torque. We anticipate a range-topping GTS trim with indeed more control, but Porsche hasn't affirmed that show fair however. All motors combine with an sharp 8-speed programmed transmission and all-wheel drive. Whereas making anything that weighs more than 2 tons move nimbly is challenging, the engineers in Stuttgart were fruitful with the Cayenne. When we were able to test a Cayenne S and found it fair as athletic and refined as final years show. Versatile dampers are presently standard over the Cayenne lineup, and most trims will have extra execution alternatives that incorporate inflexible disc suspension, 4-wheel controlling for moved forward maneuverability, and dynamic anti-roll bars for complement cornering. The 2024 e-hybrid's run ought to be marginally higher than some time recently, much appreciated to an enlarged battery pack that boosts evaluated usable capacity from 14.3 kilowatt-hours to 20.6. Final year's model was rated for up to 15 miles of electric driving, so we anticipate to see a run of around 25 miles. The EPA gauges that the base Cayenne ought to convey 17 mpg city and 23 mpg interstate, whereas the S model with the V8 motor is sweet for 15 mpg city and 21 mpg interstate. When we get a chance, we'll take the unused Cayenne on our 75 mph interstate fuel economy test course and overhaul this story with comes about. Interior. The 2024 Cayenne gets a modern dashboard plan with more screens and a seat that's propelled by the Taycan EV car. The SUV's controlling wheel has been supplanted by one borrowed from the 911 sports car, and the gauge cluster is presently completely advanced. A flip shifter is mounted on the dashboard, liberating up space on the center comfort for a capacity alcove. Porsche basically gives a clear canvas interior the Cayenne for clients to personalize as they see fit. Everything from the insides trim to the seatbelt colors and the surface materials can be exclusively chosen, nearly continuously with a firm extra taken a toll. In expansion to conventional options, heated and ventilated front and raised seats, for instance, the Cayenne offers alluring overhauls such as more strong seats, neating front seats, and 4-zone climate control. Rivals just like the Audi Q7 and the Volvo XC90 have 3 columns, whereas the Porsche has as it were 2, but at slightest the Cayenne's back situate is movable and gives bounty of stretch-out space. The Cayenne allures Porsche devotees with sufficient traveler capacity and cargo volume, which are distant more prominent than any 911s. The Cayenne's driver and front passenger confront a divider of digital displays that stretch the complete length of the dashboard. Within the center may be a 12.3-inch touchscreen with remote Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability. To the correct of that's a auxiliary, and discretionary, 10.9-inch show for the front traveler, which Porsche says can be utilized to stream video substance since it highlights a security instrument that creates it undetectable from the driver's vantage point. There's a isolated 12.6-inch screen implied fair for the driver, settled behind the directing wheel and anticipating vehicle speed, the tachometer, a trip computer, and other capacities.